Welcome back, everyone, to our final deep dive for business in the real world.
Our finale.
I know, right? It's flown by.
It really has.
So to wrap things up, we're going to do something a little different.
Yeah.
Instead of getting into, the nitty-gritty details of a specific business concept, we're going to follow the story of a fictional entrepreneur.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and see how they kind of put all these things we've been talking about into practice.
Okay, so like a case study, but more engaging.
Exactly. So meet Riley Taylor, the founder of ProSmooth, a company that, makes smoothies.
Okay, simple enough.
Right. But Riley's story really starts with something I think we can all relate to. That feeling when you're looking for a product and it just doesn't exist.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Like you're walking through this supermarket and you're like, there should be a thing that does this, but there isn't.
Totally. So what was Riley's aha moment?
Well, they were really into fitness.
Okay.
But they were constantly frustrated by the lack of, healthy and affordable smoothie options.
Oh.
Everything was either loaded with sugar or, ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, I feel like I've been there.
Right. And that's where the entrepreneurial spark ignited.
So they decided to create their own.
Exactly. If no one else was making the perfect smoothie, Riley would.
But it sounds like ProSmooth was about more than just, filling a market gap.
It definitely was.
There had to be a deeper why behind it, right?
Absolutely. Riley was super passionate about healthy living, and they wanted to make that, accessible to everyone.
I like that.
Especially young fitness enthusiasts who, let's face it, are often ignored by, the big brands.
Yeah, they're kind of stuck between kiddie drinks and, super serious supplements.
Exactly. So it's about providing a high-quality product, natural, high-protein smoothies,
Okay.
but also making them delicious and affordable.
So ticking all the boxes.
Exactly. But starting a business straight out of sixth form,
Oh.
it's a pretty big risk.
Huge. Most sixth formers are worried about, what to wear to prom, not launching a company.
I know. But Riley was seriously dedicated.
What kind of sacrifices did they have to make?
Well, they invested all their savings.
Oh, wow.
No safety net.
That's brave.
And forget about, those carefree student nights out.
Yeah, I guess you can't really have both.
No, late nights were spent perfecting recipes, sourcing, eco-friendly packaging, talking to suppliers.
All while juggling university and, keeping up with their own fitness routine.
It's amazing they found the time.
Talk about time management skills.
Right. Most of us can barely keep up with laundry, let alone.
I know.
Speaking of which, let's talk about, the structure of the business.
Okay.
Riley started as a sole trader, which I guess makes sense when it's just you.
Yeah, it keeps things simple, right?
Totally. And gives you full control, which is probably important in those early stages.
Right.
But as ProSmooth started gaining traction,
Mm-hmm.
they made the smart decision to transition to a private, limited company.
Now, why was that so important?
Well, for one, it limits their personal liability.
Right, so if things go south,
Exactly.
their personal assets are protected.
But it was also crucial for attracting investors, which in Riley's case was their family.
Ah, so it adds a layer of legitimacy and trust.
Exactly. Imagine trying to convince your family to invest in your business without that.
Yeah, good luck with that. It's like, hey, mom and dad, trust me.
Right. It really shows how these decisions, even the ones that seem kind of technical, they can impact your whole business, even your personal relationships.
Yeah, totally. So we have a passionate entrepreneur, a solid business structure. But did Riley just wing it from there, or was there a plan behind ProSmooth's growth?
Oh, Riley was all about setting goals, and not just any goals, smart goals.
Oh, I've heard of those.
Yeah, the specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound kind.
Right, so it's not just about, dreaming big.
It's about turning those dreams into actionable steps.
Okay, so what were some of Riley's goals?
Well, short-term goals were things like selling 1,000 smoothies in the first 3 months.
That's ambitious.
It is. And securing partnerships with local gyms.
No, smart move. Gets the product right in front of their target audience.
Exactly. And those early wins, they're so important for building momentum,
Yeah, it's proof that you're on the right track.
Totally. But they also had long-term goals, like expanding into national retail chains.
Wow, thinking big.
And launching a vegan product line.
Okay, so really catering to a wider market.
Exactly. These goals weren't just plucked out of thin air.
Right.
They were carefully considered steps towards building a sustainable brand.
I like that.
So we've got the entrepreneur, the structure, the
Hey,
goals.
ingredients for success.
But what about the people involved? How did Riley handle all those different stakeholders?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Because you've got customers, suppliers, investors.
Keeping everyone happy is a delicate balancing act.
For sure. So how did Riley manage that?
Well, they recognized that ProSmooth's success depended on understanding and meeting the needs of all those different groups.
Okay, makes sense.
For customers, it was about high-quality, affordable smoothies with convenient delivery options.
Right, because who wants a warm smoothie?
Exactly. For suppliers, it was about building strong relationships.
Yeah.
Timely payments, clear communication, all that good stuff.
And what about those family investors? I bet they wanted to be kept in the loop, especially since it was, a family member's business.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
Transparency was key.
So how did Riley keep them informed?
Regular updates, sharing sales milestones, growth plans, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
And they even hosted this awesome launch event at a local gym.
Nice.
Free samples, fitness influencers, the works.
Smart move. Generate some buzz. Show everyone what ProSmooth is all about.
Exactly. It wasn't just a party. It was a strategic move to engage their stakeholders and show them, hey, we value your support.
So not just celebrating a milestone.
But actively building those relationships.
I like it. A launch event with a purpose.
It sounds like Riley really thought of everything.
They really did.
So, okay, let's talk about location. Because they couldn't exactly, keep running ProSmooth out of their parents' kitchen forever.
Right. Eventually you need to scale up.
So what went into choosing the right production facility?
Well, Riley knew that location could make or break a business.
Yeah, for sure.
And they ended up choosing a spot near Manchester City Center.
Okay, so right in the heart of things.
Exactly, which was strategic for a few reasons.
Okay, I'm listening.
First of all, being close to their target market meant efficient delivery to gyms and health food stores.
Makes sense.
Keep those transportation costs down and make sure those smoothies are as fresh as possible.
So it's not just about, finding the cheapest rent.
No, it's about the bigger picture.
Thinking about logistics.
Exactly. And there was another key factor.
What's that?
Access to raw materials.
Oh, right. For those fresh ingredients.
Yeah. Riley partnered with local farms to source their fruit.
Okay, so that's like a win-win, right?
Totally. High-quality ingredients and supporting the local community.
I love that.
Plus, being near a university meant they could easily hire students part-time.
Oh, smart. Tap into that flexible workforce.
Exactly. It's like Riley had this knack for turning potential limitations into advantages.
I know, it's impressive.
Resourceful. Okay, so we've got a great product, a strategic location.
A dedicated team.
But to really scale up, you need funding.
Right, and that's where the business plan comes in.
The all-important business plan.
So what was it about Riley's plan that convinced the bank manager to give them that loan?
Well, it wasn't just, numbers on a page.
Okay.
It really captured Riley's passion and vision.
So it had personality.
You could say that. The mission statement, for example, clearly stated ProSmooth's commitment to healthy living and sustainability.
Oh, I like that.
It immediately grabbed your attention.
But I imagine the bank manager also wanted to see some cold, hard numbers, right?
Of course. And Riley delivered.
Like what kind of financial projections?
Well, there was a detailed market analysis highlighting ProSmooth's unique selling points. The sugar-free formulas, the eco-friendly packaging that focus on the fitness market.
Smart.
And they had a projected break-even point within 6 months.
Whoa, so they weren't just, dreaming.
No, they had a solid plan for making it work.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Right.
You can't just walk into a bank and be like, hey, I have a great idea, give me money.
You need to show them you've thought things through.
That you understand the market, how to make a profit.
Exactly. And I bet Riley's background in fitness and nutrition didn't hurt either.
Oh, for sure. It's like they had the perfect blend of passion and business savvy.
Absolutely. Okay, so now we have funding.
Things are getting serious.
How did ProSmooth go from those initial local partnerships to, wider expansion?
Well, Riley used a mix of organic and external growth strategies.
Okay, so playing the field.
You could say that. Organic growth involved expanding their product line.
New flavors, maybe.
Exactly. Like green energy and matcha boost.
No, I try those.
Right. And they introduced a subscription service.
Oh, for those diehard smoothie fans.
Exactly. Keeping things fresh and exciting, because you can't get complacent.
Yeah, the market's always changing.
And what about those external growth strategies?
Well, Riley got creative with partnerships.
Right.
For example, they teamed up with gym owners to sell ProSmooth at their locations.
So expanding their distribution without, like, massive overhead.
Smart. And they also collaborated with a vegan protein powder brand,
Oh, interesting.
tapping into a whole new market segment.
It's like, why do everything yourself when you can find the right allies?
Exactly. But rapid growth can come with its own set of challenges.
Yeah, for sure.
How did Riley handle the complexities of scaling up without, sacrificing quality or efficiency?
That's where their understanding of economies of scale came in.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, they started bulk purchasing ingredients.
Smart move. Lowers the per unit cost.
Right, and they invested in technology like high-speed blenders,
Yeah.
automated bottling machines.
So boosting production without, sacrificing quality.
Exactly. It's like they were thinking several moves ahead.
But I'm sure there were still some unexpected hurdles along the way.
Oh, definitely.
How did Riley deal with those inevitable curveballs that every entrepreneur faces?
Riley was incredibly adaptable, which I think is a key trait for any successful entrepreneur.
Okay, so give me an example.
Well, when a new mobile app for ordering and managing subscriptions took off,
Okay.
ProSmooth was ready.
So they were, on top of those tech trends.
Yeah, they really understood the evolving consumer landscape.
But what about when things got tough, like during the recession?
I mean, people cut back on non-essentials when money's tight, right?
Yeah, so how did ProSmooth weather that storm?
Well, Riley recognized that customer needs change with the economy.
Makes sense.
So they introduced budget-friendly mini smoothies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, smart. So they were still catering to their target market.
Exactly. But acknowledging that, people might not be able to splurge on the full-size version.
So they didn't panic, they just adjusted.
Exactly. And it showed a real understanding of market dynamics.
So flexibility is key.
It's not about rigidly sticking to a plan. It's about responding to what's happening around you.
Because the world throws you curveballs.
All the time. And Riley showed a remarkable ability to adapt to those changes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when new sugar regulations were introduced,
Oh, right. Those can be tricky.
they didn't resist or try to, find loopholes.
Those just rolled with it.
They adjusted their formulas to comply, which I think speaks volumes about their integrity.
It's like they had this moral compass, even when it was inconvenient.
Totally. By the age of 21, Riley had turned ProSmooth into a nationwide brand.
Wow.
It's a testament to their hard work, strategic thinking, and adaptability.
I mean, it's inspiring to see someone so young achieve so much. It shows that age isn't a barrier to entrepreneurship.
And that with the right combination of passion, planning, and perseverance,
You can achieve amazing things.
Riley's journey with ProSmooth is like a textbook example.
Of how business concepts work in the real world.
We've seen how strategic thinking, adaptability, a commitment to your values,
All of it can lead to success.
and it's a reminder that entrepreneurship isn't just about profit,
It's about creating something meaningful,
something that resonates with people.
making a positive impact.
Yeah, it's really amazing to see how, someone can take an idea and turn it into something so impactful.
Absolutely. And it's not just about luck or, being in the right place at the right time
Right, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication.
and smart decision making.
Definitely, like we've seen throughout Riley's journey.
Yeah, from choosing the right business structure
Setting those SMART goals.
to adapting to, all those unexpected challenges along the way.
Yeah, that adaptability, I think that's a superpower for any entrepreneur.
It's like you can have the best plan in the world,
Right.
but things are going to change.
They always do.
So you need to be able to, roll with the punches.
And Riley really demonstrated that.
Yeah, whether it was responding to economic shifts
New technology.
or even those pesky sugar regulations.
They always found a way to pivot and, keep ProSmooth moving forward.
And without compromising their values.
Exactly. It's inspiring to see that kind of integrity.
For sure. So, even though this was a fictional case study,
Right.
I think there were some really valuable lessons we can all take away.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It reminds us that business isn't just about, spreadsheets and profit margins.
It's about people.
It's about solving problems.
You're creating something that, has a positive impact on the world.
Well said.
Yeah.
I think this has been a fantastic way to wrap up our business in the real world series.
I agree.
We've covered a lot of ground.
From marketing to finance operations.
But ultimately, it all comes back to the human element.
The passion, the vision, the drive to make a difference.
And so, as we conclude this episode,
Yeah.
We want to thank you, our listeners.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us on this journey.
It's been a real pleasure sharing these insights with you.
We hope you've learned something new.
Been inspired to, maybe think differently about the world of business.
And who knows, maybe even sparked some entrepreneurial dreams of your own.
And before we sign off, a huge thank you to the amazing team behind the scenes.
The researchers, the writers, the producers.
Everyone who makes these deep dives possible.
And of course, a massive thank you to Google Notebook LM and Audio Dialogue
for their incredible AI assistance.
It's amazing how technology is, transforming the way we learn and share stories.
This has been a PEELC Strategy production.
We'll see you in our next deep dive.